Hi there, I'm James, and on today's live stream, I'm going to be talking to you about our brand new Naturehood platform. So, just a quick introduction before I get into it. Naturehood is a project that's run by Earthwatch Europe in partnership with the Wiltshire Wildlife Trust, and we've been funded for the last 18 months by the National Lottery Heritage Fund. And what we really try and do is support people to take action for wildlife in their private spaces. So, I'm here in my garden, but it could just be a window box, a balcony, or if you're a bit luckier, maybe you've got an allotment or a larger space in which you could be doing things. So to talk through a couple of the things that you could be doing, let's pick them out actually, that's more fun. So you can see over here, we've got a nice little bee hotel, and alongside it, there's a load of lavender that's been planted up. So those are wildflowers that have been put in specifically to support pollinators, so butterflies, moths, different types of beetle and fly, as well as the bees, which are kind of one of my favorites. Yeah, definitely. I've also got compost heap at the back and some wildlife passageways. And the idea is that by supporting lots of people to do these different types of actions to support wildlife, what we have is a habitat stretching across an urban area like I am, or maybe it's just across the town or a village where those different habitat areas are more connected and also do more to support populations of different species. And one of the things that's actually really important in trying to do that is getting people to take action in concentrated areas. So what that means is trying to build a sense of community and that shared ethos and drive to do something to support wildlife. And that maybe that means you've got a good network of habitats connected by little corridors. So you've got a wildlife passageway that a hedgehog or a frog can get through. Maybe it means that there's lots of wildflowers in a whole street so that butterflies and bees that are traveling through the area can stop and rest in some security and be well fed. And one of the things that our new platform, get into it now, is really going to try and do is foster those groups. And that means that one of the things we have is a whole new functionality about groups and bringing people together. So there'll be sort of a chat board function where you can collaborate and talk and ask questions. Say, I've got a new bird box, but I've got no way to put it up. Can I borrow a ladder from someone? Or I've seen this species in my garden. Can anyone help me identify it? Those sort of collaborative spaces, and then also sharing the different actions you're taking to try and encourage other people. And that's something that's going to be really important if we're going to be able to help support different species through the kind of declining biodiversity that we have at the moment. So for species like hedgehogs are a really good example because they're declining across the UK, but they're declining at a slower rate within urban areas. And part of the understanding is that that's because people's gardens and private spaces can really do meaningful things to support hedgehogs. And that can be true of many other species as well. So there is untapped potential in some ways. And it's also quite exciting because we don't know a huge amount about people's private spaces. It's very difficult to send in an ecologist to do a survey when it's somebody's garden or balcony. You can't just knock on the door one day with your clipboard and your quadrats. Instead, it's really important to be asking people to record themselves what they find. And so that's something that we're changing as well, is that we have that scientific recording that goes on. And we have some quite fun, definitely fun surveys that we ask people to do. And so there's a me and my nature space, which is just a very quick, tell us about what features you have. Do you have lawn? Do you have patio? Those sorts of questions. And then also a nature space challenge. And what's quite exciting about that is that we'll be asking people to do their nature space challenges in weeks in the year so that we have everybody carrying out the challenge in a that'll be really helpful for our scientists, and also means that there is that challenge element. You're working together, and hopefully we'll have different communities spread around the UK where there'll be a real surge in people carrying out that data recording, and we'll get valuable information for science but also valuable information for the community, as we can hopefully be feeding back the sorts of things that have been spotted. Now that change in the science is definitely going to be facilitated by the new platform, and I would encourage you to go and have a look at those surveys and fill them out if you have time. everything is still free to access, so you don't have to pay to create an account. And we've specifically designed our different things, so whether it's taking an action or whether it's doing a data recording, it's all designed to be fun and engaging and accessible to people with different kinds of space and different amounts of time and energy that they can be putting in. One of the things that we had on our old site that we were really proud of was the resources and the guidance around taking action for wildlife. And we've kept a lot of that as is. We've updated some of it with the latest scientific information. And we've also added a whole new range of actions to do with reaching out to your community and galvanizing change, because that is so important for both supporting wildlife and also achieving benefits for the people that live around you. Because one of the great things about nature is the benefits it can have for people in terms of well-being and mental health. And so helping to connect your neighbors, your family, and your friends with the natural world is something you can do that can be of really great value. And so I definitely encourage you to take a look at those community resources as well. I mentioned the groups quite briefly, and I think that's probably the area I'm most excited about seeing everyone coming together on, because as well as there being that chat board where you can talk to people about what you're doing to support biodiversity, ideas you have, projects you'd love to run, or also hearing about other people's ideas and projects that you could get involved with. There's a possibility for talking about events and news and just really coming together and having those exciting discussions and hopefully achieving things in your local area and as a community that you wouldn't be able to just as an individual. Yeah, and so if you want to be signing up, if you've not already, the web address to head to is my.naturehood.uk. And if you're already a participant, you're already taking part in Naturehood, then very shortly you'll be receiving an email, which is an activation email. So that'll come into your inbox. And by clicking through that, you'll be able to activate your account on the new website and start checking out all these different features that I've been talking about. So yeah, that was all the bits that I wanted to talk about, really. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm excited to be talking to some of you on the new platform in the very near future. Okay, brilliant. Thanks, everyone.